Sorry I'm late. I just broke our website. You didn't even hear about
I
this.
didn't even know this.
I was trying to test out one of the new features on Ted's stream and it just broke her entire channel.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm
Meme
gonna
coins,
say
Mary.
you're marrying meme coins. We are gonna have opposite answers.
I think the social graph is like extremely overrated.
How to become unlonely in 3 steps.
Brian's not
Step one.
stumped.
You were actually like, ooh.
I wasn't expecting that one. I was like, oh, that's like a little... It's a tough way to start the show. It's just like immediately being like, don't cancel her, please don't cancel her, don't...
Yeah, good that you like touched on this topic because it's critical.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
You know, male visibility is so low.
It's a shame that Brian dropped off because now we have to
Now look at this. This is like,
the 3 girls.
this is the problem. Too many women in crypto.
How was Basecamp and FWB Fest?
I had a lot of fun. Basecamp was great. Honestly, pretty good food. Played
Good
basketball.
wine. I think I saw wine glasses on like multiple pictures. I was like, what wine do they serve?
Oh, what kind of wine did they serve? Wine.
I don't think Brian.
Normal
He's
wine.
not a wine connoisseur.
The tannins were good. FWB Fest also really fun. A lot of dancing, a lot of mushroom cocktails.
How to become unlonely in 3 steps.
Brian's not
Step one.
stumped.
Make a channel. Step 2, start streaming. Step 3. Optional step 4, launch a versus token or a 30-minute token during your stream.
So the definition of becoming unlonely is being unlonely for you.
More philosophically, how to be less lonely. I would say moving to New York definitely helps. Starting a company called Unlonely where you meet a bunch of people also helps too.
Step 1, put yourself out there. One of those ways could be, for example, nominating yourself for Love on Leverage. Step 2, be willing to invest in a community. That could be your online community, your virtual community. Step 3 is be consistent.
What is the sweetest, the most cringe, and the hottest things you've seen on Love on Leverage?
Sweetest moment was when Ted and David had their blind date in the first season of Love on Leverage. They literally shared this moment where they were referencing this like childhood game where you try to like pretend to be a dinosaur. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Kako seems like she's
Yeah,
like familiar. It's a bit like the penis game, but wholesome, where you like both try to like out weird each other. You're like pterodactyl, and you like try to be really insane. And I really like I was like, this is such a wholesome moment. Like this is so like they actually seem like they're having a moment. And like they're not paying attention to the fact that like 100+ people are watching them.
Most cringe moment. Oh man, there's a lot of cringe moments. I try to forget those.
Has there been like any inappropriate stuff? Like stuff that you were actually like, ooh.
There was one on our first episode, a guy who came with a purple shirt. And this very nice lady was like, why are you wearing a purple shirt? I thought, like, are you gay? And then we were like, oh, that's a little, that was, I wasn't expecting that one. I don't think she meant any bad intentions. I think just culturally, you know, our guests are come from all around the world, you know.
There's language.
It's culture difference.
No, yeah.
Don't cancel her. Please don't cancel her. Don't go all woke liberal on me too quick. I was kind of like, oh, that's like a little... It's a tough way to start the show. It's just like immediately being like, "Are you gay? Why you wear purple? Are you gay?"
It's a wonderful way to start a conversation, isn't it?
Okay, and was the last one
yeah.
hottest?
Yeah.
Hottest
moments.
I have to give it to Moonpapi. It was Moonpapi.
Oh, so true, so true.
When Li Jin was the Bachelorette on the second season of Love on Leverage. They were all meant to be pitches, but then this guy, Moonpapi, rolled in with like a green screen background. He showed up on a convertible car, like a
fake Lamborghini,
and a glass of wine.
Yeah, that was actually really funny.
Through different
so
it was like him in Miami, him at a club, him back in the convertible. It was so funny. Yeah, that was hot stuff.
Great. That was really good.
If Love on Leverage was a song, what song would it be?
Don't you?
If Love on Leverage was a song.
You got to pump it up.
Yeah. You gotta pump it up. That's the theme song. That's how we make money. Literally, just like play that song enough times in the show.
$500,000 in transaction volume in 5 episodes.
What's your personal favorite use case of Unlonely?
I really like the 30-minute token. I think it's like, we haven't marketed as well, and I think we're still kind of early, but I love the idea having a bunch of people in a stream. It's like a game of chicken, you know, who's gonna sell first and like who's gonna hold the longest. I actually think it's like a really fun way to like gamble with your friends online. I launched like Tofu Cat token when we first announced the 30-minute token feature, and it was just fun seeing like everyone just aping in. And then like the second there was any sign that people were gonna sell, everyone just started selling.
Same for you, Grace, or you have a different use case?
Probably not for Grace.
Yeah, I would pick a different use case. We have a version of this that has existed since kind of the early days of Unlonely, which is like a one of one minting of like a highlight clip moment. But that was initially built on mainnet before we built all of our on-chain stuff on Base. So we're now actually this week probably announcing a new feature where all of that is going to be minted on Base, also via Zora. So there will be ERC 1155s where all of that will kind of happen seamlessly. Like you show up, you see a really amazing, like mintable, highlightable moment in the stream. You're like, I want to show that I own this piece of the stream or that I was here for it. And then you clip it, it shows up on Zora. People can all like mint it as an open edition and like collect it as well. So like there's kind of like a way for it to go viral there. And I just think that that's like a really fun way to integrate NFTs as well and like collectibles into what we're building with streams and video content. And like we've seen that really work. You know, we even had season 2 of the Love on Leverage recap episodes, all mintable in Zora as well. And I think there are still like over 40,000 mints of it from when we initially posted, which is like pretty amazing to see.
Kiss, marry, kill. Meme coins, social graphs, and 30-minute token.
Tough.
I'm
Meme coins,
gonna say
marry.
you're marrying meme coins. We are gonna have opposite answers.
Marrying meme coins, kissing 30-minute token, killing social graph. I think social graph is like extremely overrated. Sorry, that's just like kind of a hot take. I think it's just like
That's a classic Brian.
not a strong enough use case. Very clearly, like meme coins have much stronger PMF in crypto. People actually use that shit. Whereas I think a social graph will be useful eventually, only to the person who's won, the teams that have really won. Currently, there isn't enough value add for having your social graph be open. People don't care. Everyone's like, oh, open social graph. We're gonna connect these 12 apps that no one uses all together. So now we have this one big app that no one uses. Awesome,
Yeah, I mean, you're getting a firsthand taste of Brian and I having opposite opinions on most things. I would say kiss 30-minute token. Okay, so we're aligned there. Marry, social graph, and kill meme coins. So that's because I joined crypto because I was like at a centralized consumer social platform, YouTube, and saw that it screwed over a lot of people. It screwed over users and creators. I get Brian's perspective on it. I think we're basically answering it as like in like different timelines. One is like go to market versus one is like overarching vision and mission, I think. But if we're talking about like my values, that's probably where I would land.
What's your unpopular opinion?
Brian has more hot takes.
Why don't you go first, Grace?
No, I have to think of one. I'm not a spicy take kind of gal.
What does that even mean?
I don't like pissing people off.
Grace is afraid of pissing people off. So
I'm less afraid of it now, and I think it is really gendered, where like men have always been taught to speak up and be contrarian and like show your opinion, and that makes you really strong and that makes you a leader. Whereas when women have done that historically, you're labeled as like difficult and I don't know, bossy and hard to manage or something like that. Like people just expect women to be more subservient and like fall into line. You've got your hot take. Okay, let's hear it.
Yeah. You can have hot takes as a woman and like it's still be net positive for you. You like we talked about this, Grace. Like, yes, like being a woman is hard and generally it's harder being a woman than being a man, but also being like, I'm a woman. I can't do things because I'm a woman.
No
like,
one's saying that. That's not at
That's what you just said. What do you mean? That's what you just said.
What I said is
That's literally what you just said.
What I said is, I think it's understandable for women on average to be less into being contrarian or sharing their opinions because there's reasons for why. Like, because they have historically been punished for doing so. And they also have not been in positions of power where it was like beneficial for them to state those opinions. So I'm just saying that there are reasons.
Asking you like right now.
I'm not saying that
Okay.
I think
like,
that we should.
For you specifically.
What about me specifically?
Okay. Like, do you feel comfortable being more contrarian even though you're a woman?
What do you like
right now? Like you specifically.
Microphone and go into your podcast ASMR.
I just want to make sure you can hear me.
No, repeat it one more time. Let's hear it.
Do you feel like you can be contrarian right now as a woman, or is there still a part of you that doesn't think you can be?
No, I think I can be, but it will have to be something that I actually believe. Like, I'm not interested in being contrarian for the sake of being contrarian. I think a lot of people do that. I will say men, but like also a lot of people generally. Like, they just like to be heard. They just like to be loud.
in a spicy way, kind of highlighting both sides. But
You kind of
yeah,
have to be negative if you want to be
no,
spicy. I think so.
You
I
can
think it's
be
I think it's actually maybe
critical.
being
Yeah.
conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and then not shutting yourself off, and
yeah.
just sharing it.
But I'm tired that everyone is like always like complimenting each other so much. Like
That's
it just
like
doesn't
that's
help
not
us.
helpful to me. Like
Mm.
I would actually like some helpful. Yeah, I think I definitely draw the line at like constructive criticism and constructive feedback is always good. But I think there's a line between constructive feedback and then being negative, like you said. Like if you're just like shitting
Yeah.
on something just for the sake of shitting on it and you're not interested in like having a dialogue about it or like you're not being thoughtful about it, then like what really is the point of that?
What is your to do when you're going to EatsCons?
I don't really go on vacations, so normally when I go to conferences, I just am like, I'm on vacation, so I'm kind of here just to vibe. Well, it's because Grace goes on a lot more vacations than me, but my intention going into it is a lot more just to like vibe. And I've actually found that like not coming off too strong in terms of like wanting to connect and be professional
Oh, I
has actually probably allowed me to make more meaningful connections with people.
think it's really shifted over time. Like I wrote like a recap tweet about ETHCC this year and about how it was like the 1 year anniversary of me going to conferences in the first place. There's been a lot of learning on like what to expect from a conference, how to actually manage like 2,000 side events, who is like high value in terms of like connecting with in person versus what's going to really suck and drain your energy and like and also there's this ongoing conversation about the real value add of conferences. I think especially I think once you've gone to a few ETH conferences you're like, okay, yeah, I see like the same 30 people at all of these conferences in like another new random spot around the world. Everybody takes like 5 days off because they're traveling and they're exhausted and they're getting a million Telegram messages. So I'm kind of reevaluating my whole relationship to conferences, but I would say for the last few, it's been very like build organic IRL friendships and relationships. Ideally, like go in with some goal of like on the kind of brand side or Unlonely side, like are we trying to meet investors or are we trying to meet people who are going to stream on the platform and onboard them, or are we going to have a big presence at different talks and then be speaking at all these different panels? Or most recently in Brussels, we did like a kind of a guerrilla marketing activation with Zerion, and we had a like actual live truck that was in front of the main conference venue, and we streamed for 8 hours, and then we got rained on and stuff like that. So
I actually saw this segment that you did at ECC about men being underrepresented. Yeah, that's such an important topic. I think there are way too few men in crypto.
yeah.
Good that you like kind of touched on this topic because it's critical.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
You know, male visibility is so low. So we're just here to try to help them out wherever we can.
It's a shame that Ryan dropped off
I
because
know.
now we have to
Now
like,
look at this. This is the problem. Too many women in crypto.
we're just like making the problem worse, but it's okay.
Yeah,
What can we do?
exactly.
We're going on a date. What's your drink of choice?
I actually am super allergic to alcohol, and I discovered this my freshman year of university. So I don't really drink. Like sometimes I'll have a sip just to taste it because I like smoky drinks. So like I will try someone's like mezcal drink or maybe like a mojito or something like that. But I'm literally so allergic that if I have a single sip, my whole body will react. So my drink of choice is probably a sparkling water.
By the end of on-chain summer,
We will find a new viral show for Unlonely and support the production of that.
Who do you nominate to join us next for Los Fomos?
Ooh. Okay, I think because Winnie nominated me to be on Rehash recently, I'm gonna repay the favor and say that I'm gonna nominate her to be on Los Fomos.
There's one more thing. Are you up for a challenge?
The lime green one on the right.
What fictional character describes your sibling best? Can you find a character that describes Brian best
Mhm.
and post that in the Los Fomos channel